Hey, welcome back to Cards and Comics. And today I have a video that's kind of fun for me because, it goes back into kind of my history. But first of all, I want to kind of point out here that I've reached 300 subscribers. So I want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed. I'm very happy with how the channel is going. And my last video got some really nice comments already. As I've done some, more vintage price comparison, I think that is very well received. So I'm definitely excited about doing more of those videos. And today, what I'm going to show you today is really a stroll down memory lane and kind of the mind of a collector. So this is me going back into my old Photobucket account that I just recently got into, and this account is 13 years old. There's a lot of stuff from actually closer to 15 years old from 2006 and 2007. So when Photobucket did the whole $400 or you're gonna, or you can't see your photo thing, I just quit using it. And this is how I sold on eBay, and I would post photos on PSA forums and blowout forums in the past. And so, but I've really used it for eBay and the PSA forums. So a lot of these cards here you're going to see are where I was showing off my pickups or I was selling on eBay. So this is the cards I had, basically 15 years ago. And you can only see 250 photos of how Photobucket does it today, or otherwise you have to pay money. So, but I kind of went back, I reactivated my account to see what was in there, and I saw these photos, and I thought, hey, it'd be fun to share with everyone. As I celebrate, my 300th subscriber, I'll show kind of a couple hundred photos here and kind of talk about the cards here. And so the first card here is a 54 K-line. It's a fun card. Obviously Hall of Fame rookie card I don't own anymore. I sold it when I moved to New York. It was one of the cards I used to do that. Peter Alvarez, obviously in 2011 I was a big pirate collector and still am, but I was really investing in Pedro, and this is a Superfractor of his, I believe, 2012 or 13 Bowman card. I don't think it's a rookie, but it's just a Superfractor of Pedro Alvarez, who was a big bust for the Pirates. Here is a Mike Zulli commissioned sketch of Dream from Sandman. So even back in that time period, I was really big into Sandman. I had just really gotten back into comics, and I was teetering on whether or not to collect original art or comics, and so I was doing a little bit of both. Because next up is a Fables Artwork. The cool thing about this Fables Artwork, if you're familiar with the series, they had an issue where they were playing baseball, and so this is from that series, and so it's kind of a combination of baseball along with Fables, and I really liked it because you have just some really awesome interior artwork, and it's sports related. Next up is my first CGC comic book I really bought. So this was back when I didn't know much about grading and comics, and I was just buying whatever, and I would have probably purchased a high grade book at the time, but I just didn't really know what the grades meant. And again, more comic books, and this is how I displayed comics back then on my wall. So Spider-Man 50, which is a great issue. First Kingpin, 45, again CGC 7, 38. And so these were books I just picked up either at comic book shows or on eBay, but I was really just starting my new Spider-Man and vintage type comic book collection right around this time. So 2006, 2007. Obviously, Jake Locker. This probably didn't go well for me money-wise. Adrian Hauser, so he's from my hometown, and he just threw a complete game shutout a couple of days ago, and so he's still a good pitcher. But he's from my hometown, and I put together his rainbow rookie cards from Bowman Chrome. So the Superfractor, the red, the orange, the gold, and for some reason I have them twice. I picked this up in Texas when I went to see my parents, and so this was at a card shop. I picked up Hank Aaron auto back in the day, and a Derrick Rose rookie, which was huge at the time. But yeah, the Hank Aaron is really cool. You don't see those kind of cards as much anymore. Double patch, and then I picked this up out of a group break I did at a card show I was set up at, and got this as a redemption. And you can see it was numbered out of 10, and it was a really, really pretty card. This was my Clemente auto. I think I showed it off on a PSA thread at this time, and I had it. It came from a PSA holder. Went to Leaf. Leaf busted it, put it into a custom holder. So it was just the autograph at one point, and Leaf actually made a custom holder for it, and then Beckett regraded it and included the PSA cert on it as well. So this is an interesting thing. So I put together back in 2009. So we're now in that time period where I was putting together the 09 Chrome football black refractor auto set. So this is the first year that they actually did that black autos. And so I put together the entire black auto set, including the Stafford. And I sold the Stafford earlier this year for quite a bit of money. It was a raw card, but it brought a ton of money. And I couldn't really pass it up because I'm not a big believer in Stafford. And I figured that maybe in 5 years I could just buy it back and have this complete set again. But the complete set is interesting because there's not a lot of great cards outside of Stafford. So you got Macklin, which was big at one point. This is a Bowman Platinum Superfractor of Garrett Cole. It's just hard to see that it's the Superfractor version. You can kind of see it if you squint hard enough because it's a terrible photo, but it is the Superfractor, and I guess it's considered a rookie. I believe it's 2010. Yeah, I still have this card. 72 Roberto Clemente 8.5, beautiful card. I do not have this card anymore. I have a different Clemente, but I do have a 56 now. I don't have this card anymore. Just really, really sad that I sold this card, and I don't know why. I'm assuming I got more Pirates or Clemente PC cards for it, but man, I really, really, really wish I kept this card and this card as well. It's just hard to believe that I had both of these. And here's where I started putting together sort of this collage of black autos, to show off. This was actually my signature on, I believe, Freedom Cardboard for a while. So, back in the day. McCutcheon, Topps Chrome, Red Refractor Auto. This is numbered 25. I still have this card. I opened a box of Bowman's Best, I believe 98 or 99. And these are what I got. And I scroll through this kind of fast because there's a really, really cool card. And it's this one right here. It's the Atomic Griffey, numbered out of 100. You see it right there. And you see Atomic Refractor. So I don't know where this card is. I don't know if I still kept it or if I sold it, but that's a really, really cool card. 55 Bowman Mantle 7. Man, that's such a nice card. I really, really wish I kept it. I really, really wish I kept this card. It's super nice. Just a raw 65 Euchre, and then here's a big run of 09 Percy Harvin. Just more 09 refractor autos, and you can just see these are all numbered out of 25, and there's nobody good. Nobody good. All these guys are bust. Just odd that so many players in 1 year could have this many busts, but yeah, that's how it goes. And then just more ways I was trying to showcase it. But yeah, I busted a pack of 75 Topps Minis, and so this is what I got. The cool thing was I did get the 75 Mini Ryan highlight and that MVP card, but you can see not too many other cards were great. Willen Rosario 101. Obviously, he never did anything. Sketch cards at the top. So this is Babe Ruth, and this is Clemente. I still have the Clemente. World Series tickets, and so this is 71 World Series. So this is the Pirate. So Game 4 in Pittsburgh, and this is Game 1 in Baltimore, and then the 1960 series. So this is in Pittsburgh, Game 6. I wish I had a Game 7. But I thought it was cool having those World Series tickets. I found that at a card shop one day as I was just scrounging around, and they were just located in the back of these giant blocks, and I bought them. Just some random rookie cards back in the day. The cool thing on this one is this is Jesus Montero. At the time was huge. Again, this card here was huge back in the day, but he obviously busted all these cards. But you can see football is tough. How many of these players busted out? Don Elston common. This was, really interesting to me because this came out of, I think, 99 Upper Deck, and they put the sticker on the front of the card. This is from Upper Deck, and over the freaking auto. Who does that? That's just dumb. Terry Bradshaw auto. So this is the second Legend set, and it was a good auto. Not much bubbling, but these cards were notorious for being streaky or bubbly. I don't know, sure why I got that card. 73 Kellogg's. So I built 3 1961 Topps Pirate team sets. I built a PSA 8 version. I built one that's like 8.5 or above, and then I've got an autograph version, and you'll see all those cards here. MVP promotion 99 Topps. I was a big Matt Holliday collector, so opened a lot of 99 products trying to pull his rookie cards. You saw it with the 99 Bowman's Best. I was a big Sam Bradford collector, so this was a really cool. I wish they were bring those back. Those Red Zone autos are really awesome. Pujols rookie card, Kafka. So again, I'm either opening product or buying, rookies, cool cards on eBay. Josh Hamilton card. Yeah, and then I hit a card like this. This is what's so fun for me. Is going through this is seeing cards like this. Now I don't have this card anymore, but I do have the 8.5, and the 8.5 is very good. But this card was awesome, except for this little bit of print smush here, and a lot of people didn't like it because of that. But look how nice and colorful and centered that card is. More Jesus Montero, some random cards I obviously pulled out of packs. A Matt Holliday 101 rookie card. This is his Stadium Club printing plate. Another Bradford auto. I mean, that card was really cool at one point. And a card that shouldn't exist. So this is a 99 Topps MVP rookie card. And the MVP promotion was not supposed to include the prospect cards. So for some reason, somehow, there was a prospect card of Matt Holliday made with the MVP back. I don't know if that's an error, but cool. Photo of my kid. I'll probably have to cut that out. A Justin Verlander auto, or sorry, just a rookie card. I'm sure that's in a box somewhere. A bunch more just chrome cards. The Bradshaw again, and Bradford, and some Posey rookies. I'm clicking through here. Trying to get to some of the cooler stuff, and this is interesting. I had 2 Mike Stanton rookies at one point, the blue and the regular, and this was a huge card at one point. I'm not sure what they're bringing today, but I may post it in the bottom of the video just to give you some idea of what some of these cards are bringing today. Blake Bevan was hot for 1 minute. Drew Storen was hot for 1 minute. Yeah, I even had the base, chrome draft. This card's really nice. I think I was going to get it graded. I thought it was going to be a 4 or 5, which, I bet I bought this card under $100 back in the day because raw cards like this just didn't bring a whole lot of the card shows. More Matt Holliday, including his Topps Chrome Refractor and some patch autos. Here's some guys that were part of the PSA forums back in the day. This guy, his name is Gary. He ripped off a bunch of collectors, and here's the thread. That's basically where he explains how he did it. And so, if you want to Google this thread, I might put a link to it. But you can go into this. This is a really big rabbit hole because this is the thread where he talks about what he did, and then there's tons of other threads like 75 Tops Mini thread where he is accused of ripping people off, and this was a huge thing back in 2007 around him ripping people off. And but yeah, he definitely came on the boards and ripped a bunch of people off. So we were doing some photoshopping of different people who were ripping people off, and here's an example of that where I do that. So this is me with my terrible Photoshop skills trying to be funny. Okay, so 63 Tops Hank Aaron. This card was beautiful. I had this card until I got an 8 and sold it. I believe I still have this card, 64 Spawn. And then I bought a bunch of, a lot of T cards at a card show. Just show you some of the cooler ones. I think these are the only 2 Hall of Famers. And I did grade eventually this Owen Wilson card just because he was a Pirate. And I think it came back either a 1 or authentic. But yeah, I think a 1. This card was traded for a bunch of Pirate cards, mostly I think the 66 Clemente that you're going to see later in this video. This card has an interesting story, this Strasbourg. At one time this card was over $1,000. And I was at a card show. I was at the National, actually. Actually, no, I was at a Chicago Sports Fest, and I was wanting this card really badly because I just, Strasbourg was so hot. He had a few cards, and this was like a short print that was unannounced. And I had a chance to get this card, or the same dealer had an 86 Fleer Michael Jordan PSA 9. And he was trying to get rid of the Fleer Jordan and was offering me a great deal on it, and I ended up buying the Strasbourg for a stupid amount of money that I will never see again, and I still have this card. It's just one of my testaments to stupidity, even though he's a good player, but that card is not worth much. Cool Freddie Freeman auto, I just don't have anymore, but it was cool at the time. Now this is my run of, I do have a couple of these on here. This card was amazing. I wish I kept this card. I mean, look how center that thing was. And I sold this card, so I went into a card show back in, before I left, so probably would have been around 2010, 2012 time period, where I did have a Jordan 7, and I had the Gretzky in a 7.5, and I sold them both, combined, the 7 and the 7.5, for $1,000 to one doctor who is probably laughing at me right now. Some nice vintage football cards. Again, these were part of a lot I bought at a show. Namath. I mean, some cool names. I mean, back in the day, this is probably a super cheap. I probably paid like $40 for all these cards because vintage football cards just weren't worth a lot. This card hurts because I had this card, and I went to a card show, and I literally, it was at Chicago. The guy had it. These next 2 cards were a Chicago pickup. And I specifically remember I paid $400 for this card. It just, that's how the cards were valued at one point. And I don't know. I'll VCP the link on what this card's worth in the bottom. But man, this is crazy. That I sold it, I think, for $600 or $800 later on. And I should have just kept it because it was such a beautiful card. Next up is a really nice Gibson 63 with some, it's a little bit chippy in here, but this card was always just super nice from the color and gloss. I picked up a 58 Topps football set in its entirety at an auction in Anderson, Indiana. And the reason I got it was the brown wasn't too bad. I think this would have graded a 4 or 5, but the Unitas is really nice, and I think it would have graded a 6. And everything else was again in that 4 to 5 range. Another cool Matt Holliday card that's not worth anything anymore. This is his International Refractor. And it's numbered to 25, or it might be the gold. I can't remember. It's been so long since I looked at these cards. This is a photo I dug up because someone was arguing on one of the forums that Babe Ruth wasn't athletic, and that he was always just this fat, piece of lard that couldn't, do anything athletically. I'm like, dude, this guy when he was younger was a stud, and look at this photo, man. This guy would have played today. If he had the modern training, I mean, he would have been a player. I mean, he was a stud back then. A lot of players did not look like this. This is why he hit so many home runs. Okay, this guy was definitely a stud. He was not a fad tub of lard his whole life. Really cool Banks card, 8.5. This card's got a good story. The 68 Peachy Stargell. So, in PSA grading circles, there are certain cards that never are graded because they're either naturally short. Another one is the 71 Peachy Clemente. There's some 75 Topps minis that are hard to get graded because they're cut naturally short, so they get the N6, they get the min size. And so this card has a stupid pop report that's very low. I'll post it, but it just doesn't get graded. So everyone who's trying to put together their Stargell Master PSA registry set will email me every once in a while wanting me to sell them this card because they can't find it or buy it because it's such a short print and PSA won't grade anymore. So again, another really nice Gretzky. I sold this card for a friend of mine, and I think I got $400 or $500 for it, even back then. Some nice 55s. So again, I just did a video where I talked about my 65 Clemente set is done. Sorry, 65. My Clemente base set, and it was done when I picked up the base 65 Clemente. That completed my can't talk today. That completed my Clemente base set registry on PSA, and it, and so I have every, Clemente card from its rookie to 73. And the last card I needed was this card here. Obviously, I had it in the past, so it just shows you, how I was buying and selling cards to try to, level this card up into a 50s Clemente or a Clemente I didn't own that was more expensive. Examples of my 61 Pirate team set that's autographed. So these are the raw ones, and I do have some graded versions. 57 Maz, 57 Aaron, 54 Banks. Again, a lot of cool vintage. This card was an amazing card. It's a 3, but very tough. But that's a rookie card of Maz, and this is how they shipped it to me. Basically, between 2 pieces of Pepsi cardboard in a manila envelope, and this is how I received it, and did not have this holder. It was just between 2 pieces of cardboard. I would not recommend that as a shipping method. And then this was, the stud card I've ever owned. This is the best Clemente I've ever had. I sold it. This card's a little diamond cut, so you can see it's bigger, smaller here than here, but visually and color-wise, that card is killer. A card I think is just super undervalued, 71 Unitas. At one point, I owned a complete set of 71 Topps on PSA's registry and graded. So I had an entire graded 71 Topps set, and I sold the entire set. So this was the Unitas that was in that set. Sure, Pink Floyd The Wall. I don't know. Reverse negatives. Here's a cool card I got for my dad for his birthday. Pepper Martin 33D line. More football. I was a big believer in the 64 Philadelphia set, and I picked up the Brown and Unitas. I still have a raw 64 Philadelphia set that's about 85% complete, and I still have both these cards. Here is a Detroit Tiger team ball from the 70s, maybe late 60s. I don't remember exactly what year we found this to be. And again, so that 55 Clemente came from a card show. So it was, I do think it was the National. It was when it was in Chicago. I got the Clemente from Mile High Cards. And at the same show, I picked up this Ty Cobb Bat on Shoulder 3. Beautiful card. And I picked up this 33 Ruth from the same show. This 52 Jackie. 54 Aaron 6, 71 Bradshaw, 55 Ernie was the last card I picked up of the day because I remember a dealer had it, and even though it was a love center, I really loved the card, and I went back and got it for a couple $100. I remember that was my last deal, and then I picked up this Ty Cobb. So that was my, show. So 2 Ty Cobbs, Aaron rookie, Clemente rookie. Oh my gosh. So I mean, that's the thing, is back in the day when the pricing wasn't so crazy, you could pick up some really, really, really cool cards. That 52 Jackie is ridiculous. So I think we already saw this card before, so it wasn't part of that deal. And these autographs here are my dad's. So I sold these for him. Really cool Willie Mays autos. He liked those Topps team cards. A lot of Hall of Fame rookie card reprint autos here. Joe Namath, cool card. And then I think this is Josh Hamilton. So this is a SP chirography. I think I got this in a set back in the day, or in a box, and I just kept it. And then he got really popular for a minute. Same as this card. And so I had these cards, and I didn't, they were just from opening product, and I just kept the cards. And here's a cool A-Rod. And this Jim Brown was a really nice card as well. It's kind of ugly with that silver sticker, but still cool to have a Jim Brown auto. And then this really, really interesting. I didn't like the set design because it looked too, to me, like plain for what these normally look like. So, but it's a Nolan Ryan on a piece of wood. Big bulky Clemente card. All right, so 58 Banks. This is kind of an ugly card. I picked it up. I hopefully got it cheap. I don't know why this card's in here. I think we were just showing people what the differences between the backs are, between 71 Topps and O-Pee-Chee, maybe on PSA's boards. Here's another 55 Banks. It's much, much nicer. This card was super nice. I'm very glad to get that one. A bunch of inserts that I had. The big one here, this gold medallion hit machine. Those things are way undervalued, big time. Another Daredevil book I picked up. I was really into Daredevil, especially the Frank Miller run. I had someone commission a sketch card for me. And this is a Super Buddies Blue Beetle Booster Gold. My 2 favorite comic book characters. Again, more 61 Topps Pirates autographs. So Vern Law, Oro Face. Just so you go through here, you'll see just a ton more of these pirate cards autographed. Oops, go back on this one. So this is 62 Koufax 7s. This card was like a $200 card at one point. And so it was just always kind of a cheap card, and I picked it up because I thought it was centered. 69 O-Pee-Chee back, Clemente, here's the front. And it's a little off center, so tough card. This card is beautiful, 69 Mays. Here is a Joe Namath that was part of that set I sold. So this card is extremely hard to get, really tough card. And it's gone up quite a bit in value, but I still think it's a little undervalued. More just pickups. I think that's a card show. This used to be hanging on my wall. You can see the pinhole here. I used to just stick a pin through that and just hang it on my wall because it was such a cool looking card. Drysdale there, and a really nice 63 Maz. My new video I just put out, talked about Tom Seaver. So this is an 8.5, not a 9, but that 76 Seaver is still, I think, undervalued. Very cool card. And this is the card I traded that Chrissy Mathewson for. Not straight across, but this was a big piece of it. My Holiday Obsession. Lambert, nice card. So this is definitely the 63 Stargell I still have today. I used to have an 8.5, so this is definitely my third. So I started with an 8, I went to an 8.5 and back to an 8. So this is like my third Stargell rookie card. Carnell Lake. Ooh, this Mickey Mantle card has got a good story. I had all 3. I had the Mantle, the Griffey, the Mantle Griffey, and I just ended up selling them at a card show. I really wish I'd have kept that set. That whole set would have been killer today. So I don't think I have a picture of, at least in the cards that are available to look at, of the Griffey Mantle, but I had it in an SGC like 7. 88 maybe. Again, Aaron and Maz. So you've got, yeah, two really cool 53 Kiners. I thought this 7 was killer. I love the rough cut on it. You know, two really nice cards, and I think, you know, they both look, you know, much nicer than their grade. Yeah, more 61 autograph cards, and yep, I got doubles of that. Rookie card, and here's some other rookie cards, and you can see, you know, I had picked up some really nice cards during this time period. Yeah, NC Vintage, yeah, that was a dealer, so that's his watermark. See where I picked that up. 65 Brock 9, Mathewson 4. This Mathewson was killer. I don't have it anymore. Now, I bought these two cards, so you saw I had a 71 Bradshaw earlier, and I sold it. And so, one year I got a bonus, and I ended up buying both the green and the Bradshaw for $1,000 combined. So both these cards were $1,000 together, not each, but together. And last card on my list here is a 58 Hires Root Beer, Bill Maz, Borowski, no tab. So that is my journey through time, you know, on cards, where 90% of the stuff here I don't own anymore, but I do have a few of the cards left. But it just shows you, like, you know, even me back in the day was doing a lot more flipping and buying and you know, grading my collection and showing you kind of how I did it. Or in a lot of cases, some of those really nice cards that were high end were sold to fund either other parts of the hobby, but most likely when I moved, a lot of those cards went to that. So unfortunately, I don't have a ton of those great cards left. I have a few, but I'm rebuilding, and you know, now with my current situation, I would just keep those cards and put them in a safe. But you know, as you're kind of building your collection, those things do happen. I hope you enjoyed the video, as kind of went through a bunch of different cards, and hope you like it, and I'll talk to you next time.